Welcome to Cott's Hollow and Poppycock, actual play role-playing experiences by Geek at Arms. Tonight, Jacob is running So You've Been Thrown Down a Well by Madeline Ember, a module for Troika by Daniel Sell and published by the Melsonian Arts Council.
Do we remember who we are, first of all?
Well, I'm Camulus,
Good.
the dwarfiest dwarf.
And I am Ryder Spice. 18 Ryder.
Yep. I was glad I checked the notes that I wrote, because your crime is still unknown. Mysterious.
I am Sizedomatier.
Yes, a fellow of the period of yada yada yada. Good times.
Yes.
All right. Last time, you all made your way down to the city of Up. You got dressed in your strange and somewhat restrictive festival garb. You were introduced by, oh goodness, now I forget his name. What's the dude who followed you? Tim.
Tim?
You were introduced by Tim to Bindle and Yoke, a couple who fed you and are letting you stay. But now you have free reign for a little bit before you rest. Although I don't know how much y'all need rest. Is anybody even missing stamina? But in any case, you're in the city of Up, which is underground. There's some time left before the lights get shut off, as it were. And especially tonight, it seems like there's a lot of activity outside. People prepping for this Wormtide festival. After which you've been promised you can be led to the exit and reintegrate yourself supposedly into civil society.
Yeah. So what is this, the preparations in the Wormtide? What are people putting up decorations, building bonfire? What's going on?
Yeah, so if you look outside, there's a lot of torches being lit to amplify the existing illumination of the cavern, which seems to be largely from mushrooms. And people are kind of moving around, not maybe actually being that useful, but singing songs and having a good time and meeting new people and talking to their friends. They are putting up like these multicolored paper decorations that look kind of like worms, just like hanging them from everywhere in the cavern. And there's not just from inside the house, but from outside the house, there is a smell of cabbage, because apparently this is the traditional Wormtide meal.
Yum.
It seems like if there's any commercial activity that happens in the city that would probably still be going on, you could wander around and explore more of the city. Bindle and Yoke let you know that you're welcome to come and go as you please. You're also welcome to come with them. They're heading to the temple to do like a prayer vigil before Wormtide.
Well, I am thinking that these costumes are very conducive to doing conga line. And that seems very worm-like too, to the conga line.
Yeah, and you don't really see anybody else doing a conga line yet.
Well, that's a big shame.
Strangely enough.
And if you start it, you'll probably be seeing only one doing the conga line.
It's not a very good line.
You never know.
It's a conga dot.
Conga line sounds fantastic.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Is there a blacksmith in town?
Yeah, probably. I don't know where they would be relative to you, but there's metal things around, so there's bound to be somebody who makes them.
I'd like to see if I could take this wooden yoke over to the blacksmith and see if I could sell it for some coin.
Ah, okay. Well, do you have any skills that would be helpful in tracking down a blacksmith?
Let's see. If I knew where he was, I could run to him.
That's true.
I have run.
Yeah, but figuring out where he is, that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw one coming in. I have awareness.
Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah, no, you did. You pass a blacksmith on the way in, and you think you could route your way back to it if you like.
Yeah. So come with me, Size. We find the
Cool.
blacksmith.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, let's go check this fella out. Appreciate it.
And
You got to do the
Meanwhile-
dancing a while ago.
If you want to do a conga line, anybody who wants to participate in the conga line, just roll
How about
under
you
your skill.
conga in front of me and I'll follow you?
Conga to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
What do I need to do for the conga line?
Just, well, if you have a good skill for it, do that. Otherwise, just roll under your skill.
Okay.
I guess there's not a way to just roll under skill. So just
I just rolled 2d6.
Rolling 2d6.
I was unsuccessful.
That is not under your skill. Are you participating, Ryder?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any skills that would be useful?
Navigation? Sure.
Especially because now you have to follow Camulus, who is apparently moving erratically. All right, so you successfully follow him and manage to convince somebody, a few townspeople to join your conga line.
So what does it look like when you're dancing?
Are you asking the Dune Rider?
Yes, because he's got unusual physiology, if I recall correctly.
It's that same kind of roll technique, except still just always keeping one hand on your back.
So it's bound to be a strange sensation then, because it would feel like somebody doing this to you constantly, right?
It's like having
it's a strange visual sensation for me.
Especially since I'm dancing so badly.
Well,
probably why you're dancing so badly.
It's probably because I'm a German dwarf trying to do a Cuban dance, It's bound to work out poorly. Yeah, so if you get to the blacksmith in Zenvat.
Yeah, so you arrive at the blacksmith's shop. It's a place called the Den of the Prancing Pony, and there's a stout figure at the anvil who comes over and greets you as you walk up, and he says, "Welcome, welcome. How can I help you?" And he looks suspiciously at your conga line, which is, as you've proceeded through the town, the people who joined you have kind of trailing their decorations behind them, but haven't really been decorating as they were caught up in the joy of the dance.
Well, and I sidestep a little bit of that and hello there, stout fellow. How art thou?
I am well, thank you. Happy Wormtide.
Happy Wormtide to you as well. My name is Sizedomatier. Pleasure to meet you.
And a pleasure to meet you. And he reaches out to shake your hand. Since he is blacksmithing, he's not wearing the traditional Wormtide garment. He says, "Forgive my lack of festive dress. It's not safe to work with the metal with only one's forearms."
Not a problem, my new friend. Forgive the state of my current affairs, as I am dressed appropriately, I suppose. I have a little business I'd like to discuss with you if you are free for a few moments.
Always.
Well, I have this somewhat of a family heirloom, I suppose you could call it, and I heave over this large wooden yoke.
All right.
And I hold it before him and say, "What do you give me for this fine piece of craftsmanship?"
And he looks it over, knocks on it to hear what it is, and he says, that is a fine piece of craftsmanship. It is not, wood is not a material I usually work in. Where did you get this? Where'd your family get this? And for what purpose is it used? It does have a pleasingly worm-like shape in some ways, which is strange for an artifact of the surface world.
Yes, I totally agree. It I wouldn't say it was a part of my family line. It kind of fell on me, in a manner of speaking. It fell to me, and I have been carrying it this time, and it can be used for things to hold things. It can be used to guide things. It can be used to hinder things from harming you. It can be used to barter for other luxuries in life. So I wouldn't mind parting with it if you would be so kind to consider possibly putting it to good use somewhere.
And he looks it over again and says, Well, it is interesting. I'll give you that. But I'm not sure entirely what I would use it for. I could definitely give you 3 silver pence for it, if you would take that.
A fair offer. I would say that if you could make it 4, I would say that we have a deal, sir.
All right. Do you want to test your luck for it?
Sure.
All right. Test your
How
luck.
do I do that?
Should be an option to do it
Test
on your
luck?
sheet. Yep.
Okay.
So test luck and then reduce your luck by 1. Nice. He looks at you and says, "You know, I trust you. Not many people have a handshake that could rival mine, but you, sir, you do. 4 silver pence it is," and he hands over the coin.
Many thanks, my fine, stout new friend. May the Wormtide find great favor for you in your life and your business. Pleasure doing some business with you, and I look forward to seeing you around town.
Thank you, friend. Remember, if you need anything of metal, always remember Nymphentius of the Den of the Prancing Pony. Happy Wormtide.
Happy Wormtide to you as well.
Yeah, now dance. Come on, Size. Get in the line.
On the way.
And I reluctantly step into the end of the line.
Yeah, this is traditional Dwarven, German, Cuban dance steps.
Okay. German, Dwarven I'm familiar with. Cuban I have no idea, but oh well. Ole!
It's a little like ball, only with 6 sides. Cuban.
All right. So now, as you've made it kind of further to the outside of Up, if you look back at the city, you can see with the additional torches that have been lit, kind of the general shape of what's going on, and you can see that there seems to be a area in the center of town where the decorations and the lights get more intense, and that was the direction that Bindle and Yoke had headed for their prayers, so you suspect that is where the festivities will be concentrated in the morning. Everything else is pretty evenly lit up, although as you look around the cavern at about like the 2 o'clock position, there's a area of town that is dark compared to everything else. And behind you again is where you came in. So that was kind of a steep cavern or a steep slope, though easily traversable, that heads back up into the labyrinth from whence you came.
Well, there are already lots of doggins there. We don't want to go back, I don't think.
Seems very dangerous in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we head towards the middle of town, see what's going on with all the lights and the decorations.
Conga
Sure.
the way.
Let's do that.
Conga the way.
All right. Yeah.
Dancing up the hill.
So you
Or
conga your
positive.
way back into town, and soon you're surrounded by the full hustle and bustle of the preparations once again. So you pass through kind of the residential district where Bindle and Yoke, where their place is. Some more, as you get closer to the center of town, it looks like there's some kind of more upscale establishments, and there's a few buildings that seem to be there seem to be a larger than normal concentration of mushrooms in certain buildings. Seems like they're like greenhouses, except they're not really greenhouses because they're not trapping any sunlight. But there's kind of mushrooms growing inside of them and kind of bursting out. And then finally, as you reach the center of the city, you see a large-ish cleared area that's very well lit tonight and very heavily decorated. A moderately sized temple-looking compound that's built more smoothly and decorated in much brighter colors than the other buildings you've seen. And other than that, the ground in this center part of town is just kind of relatively unpacked sandy soil. And you can see mostly people are streaming around doing their preparations for Wormtide. It looks like there's a few people headed towards the temple, but nobody really seems to be coming out and heading back into town from there yet. You interested in checking out anything in particular?
Are our hosts anywhere near us?
No, you don't see them. They did say that they were going to pray, so if they were going to be anywhere, they would probably be inside the temple area.
Okay. I'm a little parched. Gentlemen, should we find a watering hole somewhere?
Yeah, this is something like a good idea to me.
I got 6 silver pins burning a hole in my pocket.
All right. Now I have to come up with traditional festive drinks for underground worm people. All right.
Can
yes.
you ferment mushrooms?
Perhaps. I guess as the dwarf you would know. Likely. That sounds likely. So, there does seem to be an establishment, looks like kind of a pub-ish setup that is on one part of this outer circle surrounding the temple area, if you'd like to head there.
Yeah. Non-Congo.
All right,
this
we're done
point.
dancing. Pretty tired by now anyway.
That's what made me so thirsty.
And this pub, the sign above the door says it's the Whispering Worm. The picture that's drawn on the sign, you don't understand what's particularly whispery about it. It pretty much looks like a worm. But you head in and see that they're offering a moderate variety of bar food treats. But as far as drinks go, there are different kinds of... there are a few kinds of mushroom beers listed, and also a little paper tent sign sitting on the bar that says Wormtide Special Hot Carrot Tea, 1 silver pence.
Hot carrot tea, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I look at my traveling companions. I think I'm going to try that hot carrot tea.
That's something good.
Let me know how strong it is, if it has any spice.
Well, probably not as much spice as you do, my friend, but yes, I will definitely let you know.
We always need more spice.
The way you were congoing, I think you had plenty of spice.
And in addition to the hot tea, I would like to know how much it would cost to fill up my firkin with some beer.
Okay.
Is the leader of this place considered a bartender?
Yes.
Hello, fair bartender.
Yeah.
My companions and I would like to sample some of your wares. I see that you have a special hot carrot tea. How hot is it?
The bartender, who's a young woman, comes over and she says, "Oh, are you visiting?" Says, as hot as we can get it, and it's going fast enough that it's always fresh. So, no worries, as hot as you'd like.
Well, my companions and I are from back east, and we're heading due west, and thought we'd stop by and check out Wormtide and spend a little time with you fine folks. Question about your carrot tea.
Yes.
When we say hot, are we thinking temperature hot or spice hot?
Oh, just the temperature.
Okay.
Not too many spicy herbs grow down here. We do have many savory and delicious mushrooms, which you can taste in our beers, but nothing that'll cause you any damage.
Fine. I'd like to have one of your hot carrot teas, please, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, one of those for me too, and also some your fine beers for my cask here. It fills that up. How much would that be?
And how big is that? Oh, so the firkin. Is that like a wineskin kind of thing, or what is it?
It's a small cask. Let's see.
The unit is apparently 11 gallons, but the brewery cask version is different.
9 imperial gallons in 1824. 1.4 cubic feet.
So many different measurements. There's different measurements for different kinds of beer. I never realized that. Very cool. Okay. But yeah, small cask. All right. So the teas are 1 silver pence apiece. And she says, we can tap a new cask and fill that up for, I don't know, 4 silver pence.
Yeah, let's do that then. Get a little far on the road.
Which kind of mushroom beer or do you have a hankering for? And man, I don't know mushrooms at all. So I'm just thinking they have different colors. So she pours you a little bit in several different glasses. So there's like from each kind of mushroom, there's a different kind of beer, and then there's also a blend that ends up being a kind of brownish, traditional beery color. But one is like a hazy kind of pink. One is rather clear and yellowy, and the other is like a pearlescent, almost blue color.
Well, I'm thinking I don't want the urine-colored one.
Good choice.
Let's go with the blue stuff.
All right.
It reminds me of Star Wars.
Okie doke.
What?
Star Wars, you know. This is anachronistic. Don't think about it too hard.
I'm not sure you're not swearing at me, friend, but okay, I won't think too hard.
But do we know what year we take place? Might not be anachronistic.
Everything exists in the wide world of Troika.
That's what I was afraid of.
So,
Story took place long time ago and pretty close to here.
You know, friend, you remind me of someone who told me about here, and there.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
I really didn't enjoy that story.
and
Don't forget the here then and the there now.
as you glance over in the corner, you notice somebody trying to play a strange musical instrument. It looks like maybe it wasn't designed for human physiology.
Does it require more hands?
Perhaps. All right, so she brings out 2 hot carrot teas and your firkin filled with this strange blue mushroom-based product.
Now I have firkin full of blue mushroom beer.
All right, is there a mushroom name generator? Probably not. Oof, there is a fungus name generator. Beautiful. Yes, it is a club coral sour. I like that. Fantasy name generators always coming through.
That almost sounds like a sandwich.
It does. The full name that it generated is Turkey Tail Club Coral, which sounds even more like a sandwich, but maybe not a very good one.
So I lean over to Ryder and I say, Ryder, how about you head over there in the corner and show that gentleman how to handle that instrument?
Roll on over.
All right. As you do so, he kind of stands there holding this strange, like recorder-looking instrument, while not really playing it anymore. His mouth's kind of agape, and he says, "Hello? I'm sorry. Was I annoying you? I can stop." As he eyes the scythe.
No. But would you mind if I give it a try?
Oh, not at all. And he hands it over.
Okay. Is it similar enough to a sickle to basically work like a sickle? Dude, rider sickle specifically.
I mean, how do you hold a dune rider sickle? Because I'm thinking of like sickles have the extra handles on them, right? Which is like kind of the opposite of a recorder.
Well, I would also assume that it had not just the extra handles, but also like more places to put hands. Working kind of like the peasant railgun, and that you have to move your hands down. It moves down the hands really fast.
Sure.
So it would have to be used to have different handles on, different hand spots on it.
Kind of like if you were handling a hot air balloon. That's what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, I'll allow you to take it at half of your sickle fighting bonus then. So just at +1, you should be able to change your roll modifier.
So I changed the rank to a 1?
Well, you can do that or change the roll modifier up here.
Oh, yeah. So I can just do that.
Yeah, but then keep that skill at a 2.
So I do that. I do that. I do that. Hey!
Nice. But yeah, make sure... Did you reset your skill?
Yeah, I put it back to 0.
Apparently it is just close enough to a sickle for you to get a handle on it. No pun intended. And this young man is quite taken aback. And a little
I start
embarrassed.
nodding my head and patting my leg in a beat.
Nice.
Go, Ryder!
I haven't played one of these since elementary school.
Well, it's too bad nobody around here has a guitar, because I have axe fighting.
Oh, goodness.
Joke shamelessly stolen from Doctor Who.
It's okay. Because I just looked down and said, well, I guess I could get drums since I have hook fighting, so we'd have a band.
There you go.
You play very aggressive music.
Yeah, the atmosphere in the pub seems pretty well improved, and in fact, it gets rowdy enough that as you look out, as people like the especially devout people move past to head to the temple, you can catch a few disapproving glances coming your way. Now, had anybody tried their carrot tea yet?
Oh. Yes.
Yes.
Sipping the tea.
All right. What are
Make a
bad
stamina
spices
save?
to go with carrots?
Make a stamina. That's funny. You better not be.
Anytime you
joking.
take a drink of something in a role-playing game, you have to make a con save. Every time.
Yes. Oh, test your luck or you die. That's the...
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. I was just plain thirsty, man. I didn't think this was going to take my life.
I think probably the Troika way is that it's a very, very strange spice profile, and so you can pick it out if you have a skill for it, if you want to roll under skill. But otherwise, what you're tasting remains elusive. You're not even sure that you can sense the carrot in there.
Okay. But at least it's hot.
Oh, yeah, nice and hot.
Okay.
The perfect temperature. Just cool enough not to burn your tongue, but piping hot otherwise.
So could I aggressively sip this cup using my fist fighting skill to decipher what I'm tasting?
Sure.
Okay. How do I do that?
If you fail, I'm going to say that probably somebody will interpret this as aggression.
Even though I'm just sipping my drink?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're sipping it in a very fist-fighty kind of way.
Okay. All right. What do I do? Click under?
Yeah, click under next to your fist-fighting skill.
Oh, boy.
All right.
That wasn't so good.
And, so changing your drinking technique does not help you taste the tea, and you jostle a rather stout fellow next to you who turns around and kind of gives you a mean look.
Oh, sorry, partner. Did not mean to offend. Just trying to fully enjoy the robust flavor of this drink.
And he just kind of grunts at you. You see a few more heads turn your way. The tension increases a little bit in the pub. Are you still playing some music, Ryder? Yeah. All right.
If things are starting
continues.
to look a little bit more aggressive, switch to a calmer tone.
All right.
No. Make it into a honky tonk. We need to turn this place out. Sorry, I almost said something bad.
Yeah, it's this guy and his friends are they have an eye on you now. Nobody looks like they're necessarily wanting to jump you right away, though.
Okay, well, I am calming down, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't get what I wanted out of this, so I'm going to back off a little bit.
You win some, you lose some.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to know what I was drinking.
What is the cup made out of?
Oh, the mugs? Earthenware, probably. Just a plain,
Okay.
just a kind of plain earthenware.
So not like a worm carapace or something?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Except if it was silver, then I was going to, have dinner too.
Oh, that's true. They probably, I don't know. I don't know how your dwarf folks travel the world. Maybe they've seen dwarves here, maybe not. As people begin to slowly filter out of the temple, you can see some of the worshippers moving back out. And you see Bindle and Yoke among the people heading from the temple back towards their home. As more people empty out, some of the lights around the temple area get put out so that it's a little bit less bright.
Okay, that's good. I was worrying they weren't going to leave the temple at all.
Yep. And you do catch as well somebody who seems to move kind of furtively from the temple back in a similar direction as Bindle and Yoke. But the activity in the pub doesn't really seem to be dying down quite yet. Things in the city are slowing slightly now, though.
Did you guys see that fellow with a hood pulled over his head looking like he was trying to be sneaky?
I did from the rear. I didn't think he was being very sneaky, though.
Well, it's that exaggerated tiptoeing he was doing.
Well, I thought that's the way he walked.
Well, maybe he has nails in his shoes.
You mean toenails bent?
Perhaps, but no, I meant like hobnails or something pointing in the wrong direction, so he has to walk funny. Look like he's sneaking.
Maybe he should quit his day job.
Well, he looks suspicious to me. If you don't think so, then we keep drinking.
No, let's go follow him.
Okay, we follow him, he follows them, and we find out where everybody is going.
Yes, but I'm bringing my drink. No, I'm just kidding.
Hand the instrument back to the player and go, "It's been a wonderful night, everybody. Be here till tomorrow."
Try the veal.
And he says, "Thank you." And as you leave, you can see he's trying unsuccessfully to get somebody else to help him play this thing. Like use their arm at the same time that he's trying to blow into it.
You need a hand, man. Not a question, a statement.
Try the feet,
Now,
maybe.
do I get any superpowers from finishing off my wonderful hot carrot tea?
No, it just tastes good.
Okay, because I downed the rest of it before we walked out.
Yeah. It feels rather nutritious. Supposedly it's a vegetable, so,
Okay,
you can feel good about that.
but I don't feel anything moving around inside my gut, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No parasites.
Oh, good.
Heavens, no. All right, so are you guys following this mysterious figure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so give me a sneak roll
Is he a dwarf?
of some kind. No,
Okay.
it's not a dwarf.
Then I fail.
How's your sneaking rider?
I don't have the skill. I thought I did, and I do not.
I think you did when you were a dog.
Yep. So, not good.
All right. Yeah, so just give me a roll under your skill. And what's your skill? Yeah, so that's a success.
Yay.
Sweet.
So you tie it. So with majority successes, you manage to catch a glimpse of this figure's dark cloak as they slip around a corner, and chasing after them, you catch a glimpse of them as they disappear into one of these kind of mushroom growing areas. So these are called fungal area. So there's kind of an entrance with stairs that goes down, and that's where the fungal growth seems to be happening.
So it's going down into the fungal area, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like a basement, but one that's accessible directly from the outside instead of needing to go into the building first.
So are we going to go up to go down?
No, you can follow them in, or choose to recon the area somehow first. Your choice.
After picking Camulus up off the ground as we turn that last corner, I don't know that he should be doing much recon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. just trying to help a friend out. Ryder, how are you at recon?
Looking around. Better in other environments. I can do some.
Okay.
They won't hear my feet coming.
Oh, right. Okay. So would you hop to it, man?
Of course.
What were you rolling for?
I figured I was hopping to it.
All right. Well, let me...
Yeah, it is. He is going to run recon for us
Okey doke.
to see if he can see what he can see. By the way, Ryder, how many hands do you have? 3. Okay.
Right.
Well, it's kind of a roll thing.
Gotcha.
And your skill is pretty... Yeah, your skill is 6. So, yeah, you would definitely win that contest. So, as you peek down these stairs, you can tell there's a group of people meeting in the basement of this building, but they're far enough away from the immediate area at the bottom of the stairs that they're totally unaware of anybody coming down them. You guys are all welcome to proceed if you'd like.
Yeah, wave them over.
Or down.
Okay. I will follow.
All right. Yeah, so this basement is particularly packed full of mushrooms. You can see the kind of like stumps, I guess, of where the ripe ones have been harvested, but there's mushrooms of all kinds of different kinds and colors and luminosities growing in here, and the air is permeated by a damp smell, which seems to be probably coming from the compost on the ground that they use to feed them. And up ahead, you can see a single torch that seems to be shining through a kind of circle of people, and a glint of metal, from the center of that group, and some words you can't quite make out in hushed tones.
So should we go up and say hi?
If you want to.
Well, it doesn't look like they're burglarizing the place.
Well, you did say they were a mysterious figure, so...
Well, I just said the skulking around looked suspicious, but now there's lots of people, and I don't know. Maybe
well, trust me, I'm going to check their boots for nails once we get done here, because I'm really curious why he was walking like that.
Today we be boot inspectors.
Well, there's a mandate that if you're going to walk the way they walked, there needs to be legitimacy to this.
So do you want to inspect their shoes?
First in and say, show us your feet.
Does anybody have any skills for that?
Well,
No.
no.
Should we roll for shoes? Come on,
Your odds might not be
you.
as good in this game, but it is technically possible to do so.
somebody should have known that was coming, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could try to sneak and see if I could pull them off of one of them without them knowing, but
Sure.
it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, you could try that.
No, I don't think I want to.
All right.
Are there any stragglers in this room? Does it look like there's anybody that's kind of standing alone or waiting to kind of talk to someone?
No, whoever you were following is blended into this crowd as one of many mysterious hooded figures.
Okay. Are they all about our age?
You can't really tell. They're about your size.
I don't even know what my age is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too.
Yeah, but yeah, you can't make out facial features, and by the voices, yeah,
But
they don't sound like
seem to be
children.
Not children's size.
Yeah,
Yeah, not fun size.
or child voices. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I mean, Camulus is kind of fun size, but that's beside the point. Well, I'm just gonna kind of walk over and tap one of the figures there on the shoulder and flash a badge and question them a little bit if you're okay with that.
All right. Yeah. What? Do you have a badge that you're going to flash?
Well, if I work it properly, if I pull the left side of my brown overcoat open like this, it's kind of like this. I actually put my knife in upside down, and so there's a little glint of silver in there. And so if I flash that, it's going to look a little bit like a badge.
Okay.
And so I'd like to just kind of flash that.
All right. Well, since you are doing this while supposedly still wearing the Wormtide garb, you'll need to successfully grab your brown overcoat to do that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you walk up, and did you say you were tapping one of the figures on the shoulder?
Yeah. I'm going to kind of. I'm not going to like forcibly.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something that I'm trying to do aggressively, but I'd like to kind of walk up to him and just kind of gently just pat him there on the right shoulder. Pardon me, friend.
All right. Yeah. And the figure spins around, kind of shocked, as you expertly pull open your overcoat with the knife displayed. They see the glint off of it.
Yeah, and then I pull it back
and kind of startle backwards. And this close, you can see that the glint that you saw from a distance is this. There's this giant pile of weapons in the middle of this circle of people. Looks like melee weapons of all kinds. Strangely, none of them seem to be like actually wielding any weapons. They're just kind of sitting there on the ground for now. And as this person is shocked by your appearance, the shock kind of ripples around the circle, and soon enough it's completely silent. And they say, happy Wormtide, how are you, officer?
Happy Wormtide to you as well. Appreciate your invitation to this evening's festivities. My counterparts and I, we are with the Intergalactic Fellowship of Leather Workers and Boot Wearers, and we were just curious if we might have a gander at your boots.
Are you two appearing as well?
Well, since he points us out.
Yeah, kind of have to now.
All right, so as
Enter into the circle of light.
As the dwarf walks up and the Dune Rider rolls/surfs up, the person that you startled is kind of looking with more and more puzzlement. And on the far side of the circle is how you can see an older, kind of powerfully built woman who's missing her left arm walks up behind the person you startled and whispers in their ear and then says to you, "We're happy to show us our shoes if that's truly something you need, but forgive us. I don't think you're actually from around here, are you?"
Well,
maybe from slightly out of town.
We have traveled here from the intergalactic headquarters of our federation. We were sent with notification that there could possibly be. Look, I do not, this being Wormtide, I mean no offense, but we have had reports of people actually trying to use worms to make boots. And that's a federal crime across the galaxy, and we just want to make sure that your footwear follows the codes that the Intergalactic Fellowship has sets forth, and we just want to make, if you would just give us a few moments of your time, we would be out of your hair.
And she chuckles and she says, "Oh, no. These are just regular leather boots as far as I know," and bends down to take one off. And the person you surprise, who looks kind of like a young man, kind of angrily blurts out, "But we would make boots out of the worm if we could." And as the woman stands up, she says, "Marifu, now be sensible." And she shows you her boot, which does seem to be normal leather.
I'm looking. May I hold it, ma'am?
Of course.
I'm glancing at it. I turn it upside down and shake it a little bit. Nothing happens. I turn it back over and pull the tongue out a little bit. and try to hold it into some light. And I look over at Camulus and
Yeah,
no
this
nails.
is boot.
No nails.
No
No
worms.
nails. No worms.
Mm.
Ma'am, thank you very much. We are sorry to have bothered this wonderful gathering. We will be on our way, I suppose. Gentlemen?
Yeah, good night.
No,
And we bow.
You're very welcome. No, before you go, you mentioned this this intergalactic federation. Are you from the surface?
Well, it depends on... there's many ways that you could describe surface. We have a surface to ourselves, but I don't know that we're necessarily from the surface.
Ah, well, I'll say this, and she kind of rubs the end of her missing arm and says, Wormtide can be a dangerous place down here, especially for those from the surface. I'm afraid I can't offer you safety. There's only more danger where we're going. But my advice to you is leave tonight if you can.
I will take that under advisement seriously. Is there a specific route that you would recommend? Since this is the first time we've been to your fair town in many moons, and looks a little different. I think you guys have kind of spruced the place up a little bit.
And he says, well, and forgive me, my name is Griddle, by the way. I didn't catch any of your names.
Oh, Mrs. Griddle, I am Sizedomatier. This is my counterpart, Ryder Spice, and Camulus.
Bergenheifermeister Johansendorf.
Is that all? All right. Well, it's very good to meet you. I'm afraid I don't know of any special ways out of up. There is the way out past the gates, although I doubt they would want to let you leave now. You could always try your luck tomorrow, depending on what happens. Recruit may be able to open your entrance, as I think he tends to promise to upsiders. Now, there may be a way out if you, again, where we're going, there's no shortage of danger of its own kind, but young Merrifieu has been tasked with arranging something which may provide egress.
This is all very mysterious.
Very. What has it been
course.
mysterious since we came down here?
And Merrifieu says, Girdle, of course, they have no idea what's happening. Listen, we are trying to plan sedition here.
Sedition.
Tomorrow, the worm will arrive for Wormtide, and that is our opportunity to help the shrimple people, because they are indeed people, to strike at the very heart of up, end the reign of the worm once and for all, and allow shrimple and humans and everyone else, except the worm, to live in harmony. So, if you help me, I may be able to give you a way out. Beyond that, you'll have to brave the normal dangers of up on your way back home. But
So, you're saying help. What kind of help would we three be able to give you?
well, my task is to open the way for the operation tomorrow. Most people are heading back home to sleep, but I'm heading to the city's water supply, where there is a gate that we will be able to open, and once that's open, it will let the shrimple in. The plan was for that to be a solo mission, as I have my own reasons for trying to leave up. So once that gate is open, the shrimple can wait, free to enter the city until the worm arrives for Wormtide tomorrow, when they'll strike. And meanwhile, I'll be on my way to the surface and soak in you if that's what you want, and if we survive and succeed in our mission.
Well, I have one question. Was ist Shrimple?
Oh, they're these very cute little... How big did I say they were?
Did you say? I didn't catch a description.
Well, they're one of the things that you fought last time.
Ah.
I can find their stat block. They're the humanoid shrimpy looking things. Where's that stat block?
Are all of them mushrooms, or just those happen to be the ones we found?
Oh no! So those were infected. Those were the zombies, the fungal Frankenblooms. So yeah, shrimple are slightly smaller than human-sized sentient shrimp creatures with sharp little claws and teeth. There's only ever an image of them, so I can't. Let's see if I can.
Well, I say we help and get out of here faster.
Yeah, and I say I never really trusted this worm thing anyway. It seems a little strange.
All right.
I say side the shrimples.
Let's help.
For the shrimples.
And Merrifield looks surprised that you have agreed to help so easily. And so the group of seditionists reconvenes once again. Griddle gives some orders to the rest of the group, and you all break. Now, you are free to take a weapon from the pile in the middle, so any of the melee weapons from the book, which I guess since I have the book, I'll tell you what the melee weapons are. So any of sword, axe, knife, staff, hammer, spear, longsword, mace, polearm, maul, greatsword, club, or shield, you guys can take if you'd like.
Well, I believe I already have an axe, which is my most optimal weapon, so
yep,
I will stick with what I got.
Is everybody else happy with the weapons that they have?
Although, what is the benefit of a shield? I think my axe is one-handed, so...
How do shields work? I don't know off the top of my head. They are able to do damage, so I imagine it's... Shields reduce damage rolls by 1, so those will reduce all damage against you, but require you to use a one-handed weapon with them. At least they require most people to use a one-handed weapon with them.
All right, so I will take a shield.
Okay.
So, Game Master,
yes.
Let me step out here. I have a bail hook, and it is a formidable type of weapon, I guess.
Yep.
Especially during times of bailing. I have my eye on one of those maces.
Yeah.
Would that be a fair trade-off in your assessment for me to have a mace as opposed to a bail hook?
Off the top of my head, I'd say yes. Let me check yeah, as long as it's a mace and not a maul.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, because maul be two-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a mace, I think the action of a mace is somewhat comparable to a bail hook.
Okay.
So yeah, you can take that and use.
Yeah, I'd like to. And so, do I make a trade and place the bail hook down? And
if you want, you can take both of them. I think you have space in your inventory.
Yeah, I've got 7 through 11.
Yep. And I mean, you can rearrange your inventory if you'd like.
Sweet. Okay. How much would this? Is there a charge for picking up one of these weapons?
Nope. These weapons are just for you because you're helping the cause.
Sweet. All right. Mace for the cause.
Let's go with the greatsword.
All right.
Now, if you're using a two-handed weapon, does that mean you're just like hopping around on your third hand?
When I swing it, I hold on one hand, swing with two hands, and then revert back.
Well, this will be a sight to see.
It's a very entertaining image.
All right, so what was the name of this person that we were following?
Merrifew. Merrifew. So you guys got your weapons sorted?
Yep.
As you like it? Okay. Yeah, so as the group breaks, Merrifew ushers you to follow them and says, "We've arranged to allow us into the entrance down towards the flooded caverns. There will probably be at least one guard still at the bottom, and I do hear that there are traps that are possibly part of the way the gate is configured. But if you're all with me, I'm certain that we can take on anything that we find. Are you with me?"
Yeah, with you.
And he puts his hand in the middle, like you're going to do a soccer chant. or something. And he says on 3, let's all say shrimple. 1, 2, 3.
Shrimple.
All right. And so you guys proceed to another entrance that looks a lot like the entrance to the fungal area. The fungularium. Except in this case, the stairs just keep going down and down and down and down and down. It's lit periodically. The staircase you're going down by luminescent mushrooms set in the walls. And eventually you get to the bottom and it opens up into a passage that then turns a corner, and Merrifield peeks out past that corner and turns back to you and says, it looks like there's 2 guards on duty here tonight. How do we want to try to take them on?
Are we flanking them?
You'll have to come through a choke point. So there's not really a good way to flank them unless you all sneak through. Otherwise, you just have to take the straight fight, although you would have the numbers advantage.
I'd like to sneak if I can.
All right.
Yeah, gives us a try.
Yeah, anybody who wants to sneak, do that.
Okay.
A failure will start combat, otherwise that'll give you a chance to get the drop on them.
And we roll under?
Correct.
This choke point, is it angled and decently wide, or is it more very narrow and like more of a walk point?
Why do you ask?
Because if it's more of a inclined down, especially if it's kind of dry, maybe more like a dune, I probably will not sneak.
I'll buy it. You can just try to initiate with blinding speed.
Dune riding.
Yeah, if you'd like.
Just fly down there and prepare with my my Dune Rider sickle, because it does other things if I'm actually riding my craft.
Okay, so well, in that case, since Sizedomatier failed his sneak roll and the guards are alerted, give me a roll versus on your Dune riding, and if you succeed, then I'll give you a free hit on one of the guards, but you do not. So
that was a good roll, Greg.
So we'll throw y'all into combat. You have 1 henchling. That is what Merrifield functions as in this fight.
If I start chanting camp, 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 does that give him inspiration?
I don't think so.
Only if you do the dance also.
Wow. That was really great with that sound effect.
Yeah, this cat was that.
It's like he was dancing on the cat.
No, it was 2 cats. 2 cats who were not enjoying each other's presence.
Oh dear.
One of them does not enjoy the presence of any other cats.
I see. All right. Well, yeah. New round. You guys have quite the initiative advantage.
That's good.
It is Camulus's turn first. Both of these guards are carrying spears, and they look relatively well armored. They each have an armor of 3.
Well, I guess I gotta grab my axe. He's grabbed.
All right.
And do I get to swing it this turn?
Yeah.
All right.
If you'd like to attack, you can.
Roland's axe fighting.
All right, yeah. And you hit, so give me a damage roll, but at -3.
-3.
Nice. All right, yeah. So you get a solid hit in on the first guard who comes to poke you. And, he's looking pretty upset about that one.
And I jumped at his yaha because I didn't expect it. Surprised me.
And, apparently it was so surprising that you just get another turn, Camulus.
Nice.
All right. Well, then, it hits him again.
All right. But this time...
Not so good this time.
He gets the reach on you thanks to the spear. And do you have any armor? You have the shield, right?
I have the shield. No armor.
So that is... Spear damage is going to be 6 to you.
And that just reduces my stamina?
Yes.
Ouchies!
And next is Size.
Yeah. All right. And so I want to take up my. I'm hoping I can grab this mace.
Yep.
And you got to help me remember what am I hitting to actually use it?
Roll versus on your fighting skill, your hook fighting skill.
Ah, yes.
But also, which of the guards are you attacking? The one who hasn't been engaged yet, or the one that got hit hard by Camulus?
Yeah, the one that got hit hard.
Okay, all right.
And I'm using hook fighting instead of fist fighting?
Well, if you want to use the mace.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, use hook fighting. And yeah, roll versus.
Nope.
But no, you don't manage to get the jump on this guy. And do you have any armor?
Yes.
I was saying that your ground overcoat probably counts as 1.
Yes. And of course, yeah.
But he gets you pretty good. And that is also 6 damage.
Okay.
So subtract 6 from your stamina. And that guy is also going to attack you again. Again, thanks to the length of his spear. So give me another hook fighting roll versus.
Okay.
It's 15. All right. Yeah, and he hits you again. Again for 6 damage.
Okay.
All right. Next turn. The guy who Camulus hit quite hard sees that you've gotten poked a couple of times and decides to switch his attention to you and see if he can get you out of the fight earlier. So he's also going to hit you. Size. Give me another hook fighting, if you would.
Camulus is going to hit me?
No, the guy who was fighting him.
Oh, yes.
Looks at you and thinks you make a good target.
Okay. And am I doing a versus hook again?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, but that time you get him. So give me a damage roll.
Yay.
-3.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, that's fine. It ignores 1 point of armor, so I guess it's only -2. But it's minimum 1 anyways. But either way, the 2 damage...
So should I have hit the modifier on that?
Yes.
Okay.
But it only...
So could I roll once more and do it right?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay, so...
The modifier should be -2 for you.
Okay.
Because you ignore 1 point of armor. And let's see if this works. Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah. So it does 2 damage, which is enough to stagger this guy. And it looks like he's going down. But that'll be at the end of the round. Next turn is an enemy again. And so the guy you just hit is flailing and desperate. So he's going after Ryder. So Ryder, give me a combat roll versus, please.
Yep, same guy I'm going after.
All right, yeah, and you get him good. So give me a damage roll, -3 modifier.
I'm still technically on. Well, I still technically have my Dune Rider with me, but I don't think I'm actively riding anymore, am I? Oops.
No. All right, yeah, and
that'd be the
way enough damage.
Yeah, actually, that would just be 2. I forgot to add in the modifier.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, this guy's already going down at the end of the round, so it is overkill. All right, and that is
overkill. Yay!
the enemies drew all 4 of their initiative cards in a row, so he's going for you again, Ryder. Give me another roll versus.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that will do. Does that bump it up? Yeah, that is 8 damage.
Fun.
But that is the end of the round, so he drops after stabbing you.
Worth it.
And it is Size's turn. The remaining guard has not been hit yet.
Oh boy. Okay. So I will attempt to hit. And so since I'm doing the first strike against him, is that I just hit the under, correct?
No. Since you're already in combat, it's still versus. Yes.
Okay. Good.
Now you can also try to grapple. I forget exactly what the grappling rules are, but we did use those last time. If you don't like going head to head with the spear. But now that there's only 1 left, your odds are pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about maybe trying to hit him with my fist, but it's okay. I'll do the mace.
All right. As long as you're hitting him. He does hit you for 2 points of stamina damage.
Okay.
Next up is the enemy. So he is going to come back and go after Ryder, because Ryder had just entered the fight.
And
Oh. And that is 2 points of damage.
That's not too bad.
Nope. And, but he's up again, so he's going to try again. As long as the strategy works.
Woo.
Well, sometimes it doesn't.
That'd be another 2 points. I keep forgetting to.
Yeah. So, yeah. Are you given the modifier, or?
Yeah, I forgot to do the modifier, so that just makes it a 1.
Okay.
So 2
Because,
damage.
I think it's just 2 at the low end, right?
Yeah. It can't go below 2, so.
All right. Camulus, you're up.
Ah, is talking a free action?
Yeah.
So you sure you want to keep this up, friend? You quite outnumbered now.
And he glances between you and says, yes?
Oh, you want to keep up? Okay.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, we let you give up if you want to give up. We have to tie you up.
Oh. And he says, why are you here anyway?
I think we keep that to ourselves for right now.
And he looks very disappointed, but seeing what happened to his friend is resigned to his fate. Do you have anything to tie him up with?
I have some rope.
You do? All right.
I do.
Yeah, do you want to tie him up?
If Camulus wants me to.
Yeah, I say tie him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't make
Do you
you
want
roll
me to
for
tie him
that.
up? Do you want me to tie him up upside down, or laying on his side, or standing up, or what?
Well, just tie his feet together so he can't get away, and his hands behind his back, Just we want to make sure he doesn't run off and warn people what we're doing.
Okay, I don't want him to warn anyone.
Yeah.
So I will
No warn the worm.
I will tie his feet.
Warn the
then tie
worm.
his hands feet. What?
Warn the worm or warn the worm.
No more worms. Okay. So he is tied feet and hands
All right.
and sitting off to the side.
Okie doke. And, all right. Yeah, so he is done, tied up, and you're free to proceed. Although, as you finish tying him up, Marafi says, we should just slit his throat and get on with it anyway. These people are savages. He probably enjoyed a nice filling meal of cabbage and shrimple tonight before Wormtide, not even thinking about the fact that he was enjoying a meal of intelligent beings who could be his neighbors, and he kind of glares at the guy with contempt.
Well, they never learn anything if you kill them right after they learn it. So maybe we show him some mercy, and then he tells everybody else that, hey, we're not such bad people. These guys are pretty good. And then the other people listen to you, yeah?
And Marafi looks at you and says, learning. I used to believe that people could learn and change for the better. And then it turns out I tried to teach the wrong things, and well, some people didn't take kindly to that. But I can see your point. Now, speaking of learning, I remember hearing something about traps. Are any of you magically inclined by any chance? Is there anything you could,
No, not really.
provide to
Have you
help us
seen
make sure we
Camulus
stay safe?
dance? It's pretty magical.
I'm thinking that dancing is not so great about dealing with the traps.
It can be.
Dance around him.
I mean, you look good when you die, but you're still dead.
Depends how well you move through the
You
trap.
just dance around him.
And Marafi says, well, I guess we'd better proceed then, one way or the other.
Yeah, well, I have an idea. You see, I have this cask, and we roll it in front of us, and then maybe the cask sets off the traps.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
That is a good use of a cask.
Kind of a shame if the beer goes everywhere, but
If it survives, we still get it.
yeah. But speaking of drinking and eating things, I think I want to eat a small meal and gain some of this stamina back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yay, 1.
So, yeah. 'Cause
So we just roll to eat.
Well, what are the... So you
Says
eat the provisions...
Maximum of 3 per day, so I guess I'll try again.
Yeah. So is it just 1d6? Or, yeah, there you go. You may eat a provision to regain 1d6 stamina.
Okay. So roll 1d6. Okay.
And then more for more, correct?
Correct. Yep. And make sure you uncheck those provision boxes.
And I'm going to do just 2 because I know if I eat the third one, I'm going to roll a 6, and that'll be too many.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right. So you guys done eating?
No, not yet.
All
And
right.
where did you say our provisions were?
They're the check boxes at the bottom
At
of
the
your
very bottom.
sheet.
Ah, yes, very good. Okay. I
Yep.
want to do so. If I roll 1d6 and got a 3, that's 3 points back.
Correct.
And I'm going to do one more.
We should have borrowed some provisions from Yoke, especially if they had eggs, because then we could make sure the yolk is on him.
I think right now the yoke is on Nymphentius.
I thought the yolk was with the blacksmith.
That's the blacksmith.
That was his name.
Oh.
I didn't say it at the beginning after I generated it. I did try to slip it in there. 'Cause it was
I
a good
forgot
one.
his name.
That came from a Oracle name generator.
Nice.
All right.
If I'd have known that, I'd have asked him my fortune.
I don't know. I figured it might cost too much.
All right. So, you guys had your snack?
Yeah.
All right. So, you can see the big iron gate somewhat up ahead, past this corridor, and then past some water, which looks like the closed off area of the flooded caverns. And so there's a section of the passage towards the end near the water that looks like it is probably where there would be traps, if there were any traps. So how do I want to do this?
Roll for rolling.
Yeah, make sure that you can roll it straight first. That's the first thing.
I don't seem to have maybe a strength.
All right. Yeah, that works. See if you can get it all the way to the end. Nice. All right. So you do get it all the way to the end.
Beer bowling.
How do I want to do this?
Sounds very dwarven.
So it clicks over one part in the floor that seems like it might be a trigger, but it doesn't seem to set that one off. The next one does get set off, and at the moment that it does, as you do, there's a flash. As it does, there's a flash of light, and there's the light of 1,000 suns that appears in this passageway, and so you all need to test your luck or be blinded for 1d6 minutes.
Sounds like we're going to be staying here for 6 minutes.
So, yeah, Camulus and Ryder managed to close their eyes, but Size, you're blinded for 5 minutes as this light explodes. The next trigger clicks and doesn't get activated, and neither does the last one. So, since you have seen where these triggers in the passageway are, you can sneak across them or otherwise navigate or mobilize across them with a bonus of an additional 2 points. Or if there's other ways that you want to trip the traps, you can do that as well.
Nope. I just want to navigate through.
All right. So you manage to nimbly make your way past, and you find yourself standing on the precipice before this flooded area of the cavern.
I don't suppose these traps are very, very short. Oh, doesn't matter. I succeed.
There you go.
Being blind, do I have my emotional support animal with me?
No. Ood
No,
went
I
ahead.
got eaten by Frankenfungus.
Zombie shrimp.
So what am I doing again? Oh, I'm using one of my, okay.
Yep.
Oh boy.
All right.
7
So,
success. 7 success. 7 failure.
oh, that's true. I had forgotten about the modifier. Yeah, I had forgotten about it, and then you didn't give it to yourself. So yeah, so you make it across too.
Oh,
And
well, wonderful. Thank you.
yeah, Mirafew looks at you all appreciatively and says, "Man, you guys are some smooth operators."
I'm telling you, it's a dancing.
And Sade.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
We also need to click our success check marks, don't we?
Yep.
Oh, yes, for sneaking.
So we put a check mark next to that.
I can't remember. Did I succeed at dune riding whenever I did that?
I think so.
Okay. I guess I could scroll up, but it was easier to ask.
Yeah, I believe you did. You did.
Yay.
If I recall, I think you succeeded in that last session as well. All right, and
I don't think I used it then, but I don't remember.
Mirafew prepares to jump into the water and says, "Now all we have to do is find a way to lift that gate over there, And as he swims to the gate, you can see that there are indeed shrimple waiting on the other side. And
I could use my strength to try to help with the gate.
yeah, you want to help with the gate?
Sure. You'll have to help me put my hands on the right place because I still can't see very well.
Yep. So you...
Here, take my hand.
Marifew shows you
one?
to one corner of this gate, which is of black wrought iron, I think. And indeed, you lift it fairly easily, and you're greeted on the other side by a whole horde of these shrimp creatures. And I did find the description of them, so I was describing them wrongly.
For the
They're
shrimple.
shrimp the size of lobsters with large expressive eyes and highly variable shell colors. And they have tiny swords and also sharp-looking little pincers. And as the shrimples start to come through the gate into this part of the cavern, Marifew reaches into a pocket, pulls out a headband with a picture of a shrimp on it, and ties it around his head, and chatters to one of the foremost shrimple in a kind of familiar fashion, and then turns to you and says, the shrimple thank you for your assistance. I thank you as well. I don't know if I would have been able to make it past those guards without your help. The way out should be clear as long as you can swim, but the shrimple want to let you know that you're more than welcome to join their assault as well. That'll be in the morning, and we can either wait in the caverns or travel back into town incognito and join the shrimple when the time is ripe.
What do you think, guys?
I vote for in town.
What?
I vote for in town.
Well, I'm not so sure about joining this revolution. They haven't eaten any of my people. And, I was kind of hoping to get back up to the surface world rather than getting involved in somebody else's politics.
Are we sure we want to go back up at night, or do we want to wait till morning to go up? How long can a revolution take?
Well, does it really matter if it's night or morning? It's always dark down here.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards Camulus, but I see what Ryder's point is.
Well, I admit I am pretty tired, and to be totally honest, I'm made out of stone, so dwarves don't swim so well.
I'm just reviewing your crimes.
Tiptoeing through the tulips.
Yep. And actually, you probably would have been fine, Size, even while blinded, since you were driving while blindfolded.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I just forgot about him too. All right.
I don't know. I'm thinking we may need to go home.
And Marifew says, your help is made all but certain that we'll be successful. So it shouldn't be too risky for you as long as you meet up with me before the ceremony starts. If you wait, again, it may be a bit dangerous for you. But if you stay, that'd be brave indeed. And Henry, and he gestures to a particularly large, deep red shrimple, has offered you many, many gems to take for your own if you do participate tomorrow.
That does change the calculus a little bit. I mean, coming back wealthy would be definitely better than coming back with empty pockets.
My pockets aren't empty. I actually put mushrooms in them. I just didn't tell anybody.
That sounds like the fungal hunger, which would be a bad thing.
Yeah,
but
could be. But on the fungal market, I could get a pretty pence for this.
Yeah, some people have to have really good dogs or pigs to get fungal like that.
You know what?
Or at least a bad shower.
Let's get some gems. We'll go fight.
Yeah, this sounds like a good idea to me.
Cool. So you can then rest. When you make it back to Bindle Yoke, they don't ask you any questions. Everything's cool. So you can rest the night, which also lets you heal luck. And I don't remember if you get stamina back.
It says regain 2d6 stamina if you sleep for 8 hours.
Yep.
And sure enough, I rolled a 6 on my next...
All right.
2d6? Okay.
Wow. I got exactly what I needed to get back up to full.
And regain 2d6 luck.
Yes.
Nice.
I was down 1 luck, so just roll. Just 1.
Right.
Luck also is something I think. Luck, yeah, you have a max luck list on your sheets.
And then what were the rules for leveling up skills?
Oh, yes. So up to 3 skills with a check mark, you roll 2d6, and you have to roll over the current skill total, and you can raise it by 1. And then after you've tried up to 3 advancement checks, you clear all the checkboxes.
All right. Well,
Okay, I did not understand that. So I'm trying to
What were you trying to
improve my
raise?
luck.
You can't improve any of the stats. You can only improve the advanced skills. Sorry, I forgot that that's the
So
nomenclature.
Okay.
So
axe fighting up by 1. That's nice.
So what? Okay. So I'm rolling 2d6 to do this?
Yep. And yeah, you only have 3 checks that I can see. So
Yes, only 3.
check against strength. And
tie does not count as over, correct?
And that's
Correct.
what I'm rolling against, Jacob, is the checks?
Yep.
Nice.
1 over and 2 ties.
Cool.
So
It's got to be over my skill, right?
Over the skill total. So, like, for you to raise strength, you'd have to roll 10 or higher. To roll hook fighting or sneak, you'd have to roll 7 or higher.
Okay.
I rolled an 11 on dune riding, which at the time was 10. So that brought it up. Rolled an 8 on sickle fighting, which is what it is. And then rolled a 9 on navigation, which is what it is.
Nice.
And I don't technically have sneak as a skill. Does it work the same way for gaining a new skill that way?
You don't have sneak?
No, I get +4 to sneak versus dwarf, so I put sneak on the thing. But I don't actually have that as a skill.
Oh, yeah. So generally, that's not how it works for gaining skills. You usually have to be trained, but in this case, I think, take it at 1
All right.
if you desire.
And if you roll equal to your total, you don't get it.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it didn't matter because I didn't roll high enough anyway.
Yeah. And then once you've rolled 3 of those checks, then clear all of the success checkboxes. All right. And what is your plan the next morning?
Do we know exactly what time the shrimp will come?
You do not.
Let's pirate Jenny this.
I don't
Pirate
understand. What does that
It's a
mean?
song. Nina Simone.
Not familiar.
I don't know that one.
I know, in different contexts, that sounds familiar, but I have no idea what you're going to do.
In the song, she works in a inn, and like she cleans the floors. She does that type of work. She's a maid in an inn, but she always looks out the window towards the ocean
Right.
because she's waiting for the pirates to come. Because she's actually a pirate who has basically made herself seem normal, and so she's keeping stock of where everybody's sleeping, how wealthy they are, everything like that, so that way when the pirates attack, she can actually lead the attack to the right people in the inn and in the town.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's from Three Penny Opera originally by Brecht. Yeah, but yeah, so you can meet up with Merrifieu. That is an option in terms of plan, and then sit tight until the main events start.
That seems like the most reasonable thing to do.
Okay.
All right. So
Stand by the guy with the shrimp headband so that we don't look like the enemies.
well, yeah, Bindle and Yoke are a little sad that you don't want to go with them, but you find Merrifieu, who's not wearing the shrimple headband, but he, as he greets you all, he palms you each one of them, and with a knowing look lets you know that you should put it on when the time is right. And you all head to the center of town, and the streets are extremely full today. Everybody's wearing their best. This time as you enter the center, there's there's the temple, there's the sand, but in the middle of the sand, the worm has erupted into the scene, and it is surrounded by piles and piles of gems of all kinds, weird crystals, and very white, bleached bones and skulls. There are priests of the worm, who you didn't see yesterday, but now you see are armless and legless, and are in tight ceremonial clothing, sitting in carts, singing songs as they're wheeled around the worm. The high priest is at the head of this assembly of carts, and he's carried up to a plinth that he kind of, once he's up there, he kind of squirms to get his head over the edge so that he can address the crowd. And he says, "Welcome, welcome, one and all. A special welcome to those of you who are visiting from the surface. Surface dwellers will receive a unique privilege today, as your experiences in the outside world will make a very, very nice offering and treat for our worm, this glorious Wormtide."
Well, I am thinking that I will take this privilege and surrender it to my good friend Tim. He would like to be in my place for this privilege. Tim, you're my good friend. Congratulations.
Well, and you look around, actually, and you don't see Tim right
That's
away.
unfortunate.
You do see some, since you're not with Bindle and Yoke, you don't, the high priest isn't looking directly at you, but you can see that there are guards starting to move around through the crowd, perhaps looking for you. Are you going to sit tight?
Nope.
What are you doing?
Sneak.
Sneak? All right.
Y'all with sneak skills are so much nicer than me.
Well, I'm thinking I'd like to sneak to a vantage point somewhere vantagely pointing
Okay.
towards.
Reasonable. Yeah. Give me a roll.
And no.
All right. Yeah. So you lose your way in the crowd, and you're not really able to see where your friends are or where the guards are.
Well, I'm going to be short.
Okay.
I'm difficult to
keep your
see
head
in the
low.
crowd.
All right. Well, yeah. Meanwhile, the ceremony is continuing, and suddenly you do see Tim. Tim emerges from the edge of the crowd and walks towards the center of the area next to the worm, and he loudly claims responsibility for bringing topsiders to up. And Recruit looks at him kind of disapprovingly and says, "But Brother Tim, the topsiders are not yet here. Nevertheless, the worm forgives everything and rewards all. You shall be made worm for your gift." And Tim cracks a huge grin and filled with glee, and a person still with their arms and legs comes forward with a strangely gnarled stick and taps it twice on Tim's back, and Tim's arms fall off his body bloodlessly onto the ground, and an acolyte gathers them into a basket.
That is not what I was expecting.
Tim continues to
That's not-
sing, and another acolyte comes up and bear hugs him as the person with the stick taps on him again twice, and his legs fall off, again bloodlessly. And the acolyte comes and grabs them and puts them in the basket, and the crowd's cheers are absolutely deafening now. And Tim is lifted up beside the priests on the altar, and then all of a sudden you see people in the back of the crowd start to scream and turn around and look alarmed. And you see a tide of the shrimple that you let in last night beginning to rush toward the worm in the center of the arena. What are you doing?
Grab my great sword and shout for the shrimple.
All right.
And I'm grabbing my headband.
Yep. Identify yourselves.
Considering I already have a greater number of arms than average, that even greater just went up more with Tim. Remember, the average number of arms for a human is less than 2.
Yes.
It's true. Well, you have more arms, but you don't necessarily have more limbs.
I specifically said arms.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so the shrimple are coming in, and as you put the headbands on, the guards now are able to quickly recognize you. So what are you guys doing? How are you moving?
I want
stick it together.
to rush the altar and grab the basket of limbs
Okay.
because I just really want to take Tim's hand.
All right. Are you guys with him, or are you doing your own thing?
I'm with him.
All right.
I'll go with him.
Okie doke. So as you rush towards the center of the arena, you encounter 4 of the blowers who are carrying mauls. No. Big old two-handed mauls are like two-handed maces, or are they hammers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, they're like
essentially
hammers.
a big sledgehammer.
Yeah. Big old hammers. And they say, "Sedition."
No, thank you. I'm full.
And yeah, so.
Oh, did my beer survive, by the way?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. It was floating, so you could have gathered it up again. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
good.
fine. The only spell that it set off was the flash one, so nothing got destroyed. First up is you, Camulus.
All right. Well, if I manage to grab the basket of limbs, I drop that and grab my woodsman's axe instead.
Yep. Yeah, you have not made it to the limbs yet.
Okay. Well, then I will smack one of these guys with an axe.
All right.
I'll smack him good.
Pretty good indeed, yeah. And you hit him. Give me a damage roll at -3. They have 3 armor.
Dos.
Nice. So yeah, you give him a pretty good swipe. But
Maybe I should have taken off this stupid clothing first.
he keeps going. Got a new round. And next up is an enemy. So the guy you just hit is going to try to hit you back, Camulus. So it's a tie. So do you want to push your luck to try to win?
Yes, I do.
All right. So yeah, so you win the exchange. So give me another damage roll. All right. Give him another good swipe. And next up is your turn again, Camulus.
All right. Oh, heck, I'll just hit him with the axe again, I guess.
All right. Hit him once again. And next up is him. So he'll
That's some very good armor you got, my friend.
keep going.
A little bit of back and forth between you two.
Yep.
By back and forth, I mean all Cam.
I guess through it eventually. It's like chopping down a tree.
Yep. And he goes down. So next up is one of his friends, who is going to go for size. And he is going to attempt to smash you with his maul.
He's going to smash me with his maul.
Yep.
Okay.
So give me a roll versus with a weapon skill.
Well, I fumbled grabbing my mace, so I was going to fist fight one of them.
Okay, you can try to fist fight him. That's fine as well. Does not work super well against them all.
Well, I was aiming for his face, but
But he gets to you first, and you are the one with the 1 armor, right?
yes.
All right. Yeah, and he hits you for 2 damage.
Okay.
And next up is Size. Your turn.
Oh, great. Can I try to grab the mace again?
Since it's been a turn, I think you don't need to grab it now. If you just want to use it, you're
Oh, okay.
welcome
All
to.
right, I'd like to try to use it.
All right. Yeah. Roll versus his weapon skill then.
Woo!
Good work. So yeah, your malice to damage is only 2, so damage roll at -2.
So do the negative twice.
I'm not sure actually if it got unset for you.
Okay,
Let me see. It's already at -2. All right, yeah,
sweet.
good work. So yeah, 4 damage.
Thanks.
It's a good hit. You think
Thank
it's
you.
about 2 of any of the hits that Camulus just delivered.
Sweet.
And next is an enemy, so he's going to try to hit you back.
Okay.
So give me another mace roll. All right. And this time he hits you for... That will hurt more. That is 12 points of damage.
Ow!
12.
Yep. Maul's ramp is very extreme.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It
So
goes from
12.
1 to
Yeah.
14.
Nice.
And next is an enemy. So a new enemy is going to step up and try to hit Ryder with a maul.
Yay. Versus. Yay.
Nice. All right. Yeah. You get him good.
I got him good indeed. And I remember to put the -3 in there.
Yeah, good stuff. And next is you, Size.
Oh, okay.
What you doing?
I will try to mace the guy in the face.
All right, sounds good.
Face mace.
And
Get
it
17.
doesn't work.
Oh, that's a fumble.
Have we dealt with fumbles yet?
I don't think we have.
Learning experience.
Come on, PDF.
I didn't really want to learn anything tonight.
Come on, you learned a great knock-knock yoke.
That is true. That is true. I'll give you that one. I'll only give you that one.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, all right.
That one and no more.
Okay, so that means that your opponent gets to add 1 to the damage roll.
Oh, great. Been nice knowing you guys.
It's just a 1 to the damage roll.
Oof,
Yeah. 13.
that is 13.
Yeah, so I have 10. So I go negative.
I don't think there is negative stamina in this game, though.
No, there's not. I'm at 0, so I'm prone, I guess.
Yep. Somebody can try to help you.
I'm going to lay this one out, guys.
All right.
Maybe bask in the glory of the worm. I don't know.
And next up is Camulus.
Ah. Well, I see my friend is on the ground. I don't have a healing skill, but I do my best and tie up his wounds.
All right.
Woo!
What do we roll? Oh, that's a good roll under. Is that under your skill?
Yep.
It is, right? Nice. Yeah, so you managed to stabilize him at 1 stamina,
1?
Yep.
Okay.
although he's still on the ground.
Why, thank you, sir.
I'm tearing up my Wormtide robe for bandages.
Very good. And next up is you, Ryder.
Yay. Oh, I want to go after the one that hurt my friend.
All right.
So swing him.
Oh, that's a mighty blow.
Good golly.
Yeah, that'll
Vengeance.
deal with him. So yeah, give me a damage roll, and then it'll be double.
So just double?
Yep,
Okay, so I don't have to... my modifier stays the same, it's just double. Okay.
correct. Yeah, 4. That is enough to take him down. So, two down, 2 to go.
Oh, yeah.
And next up is an enemy. So the one that you would hit before is coming after you since you switched targets, Ryder. So he's going to try to go for you with his maul.
Go!
And he will hit you. You don't have any armor, right?
Nope. I have a neckerchief.
So that is, I want to say, 6 damage.
Okay, I'm fine.
And you get another turn.
Oh, okay. Let's go for the guy who just swung at me. Since I avenged my friend, I can go for the other guy now.
But he gets you again for 13.
I go down.
Really?
Well, this is no good.
I had 12.
Oh dear. That is no good.
Well, that sounds like an easy way of how we know how Troika is going to end.
And then the last undamaged enemy gets a turn next. So he's going to come for you, Camulus, since you're the last man standing.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, I
Yeah.
give him a wallop.
Give me a damage roll at -3.
Whatever that is.
All right. Yeah,
A very small wallop.
pretty decent wallop. And that's the end of the round.
Oh.
So, only 2 enemies left.
And since the round ended, that means that Ryder is gone, correct?
Correct. That is correct.
So, not only do I have the distinction of being I think the only active player to die during a game, it has now happened 3 times.
Wouldn't be appropriate for me to say 3 times a charm, would it?
You are in a city this time, so maybe they'll have a trauma ward. The main problem is that poor Size is only on 1 stamina. All right, And next up is end of round. Fun. So it's fun when you draw that as the first card. All right. So yeah,
So we're just fainting each other.
A decent smack is going to come back at you, Camulus.
Oh,
Be bringing it on. I test my luck and I succeed again.
wow!
All right. Have you been decreasing your luck?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yeah, you just refreshed it at last night, of course. All right, yeah. So give me another damage roll.
2 more.
Good. Another smack. Next up is you, of course.
Well, we come this far. We try it some more. Not
Oh my word!
So I go to the website and I tell it to roll up a character, and this is what it rolls up.
That's only 3 damage to you, Brian.
Well, that's good news. For those listening at home, Ryder or Greg's new character will be a medic.
Oh, wow.
Who actually has a healing skill.
Oh my word.
Ooh. I haven't seen this zine actually before. This is fun. Cool.
I will wait till after combat to do things.
Sublime art of angry healers.
Yeah, so that was 3 damage to you, Brian.
Yes, and I've taken it.
And next up is your turn, Size. You don't have to attack. In fact, it might not be a great idea.
Why is that looking not dangerous?
I'm just going to, like I've got an itch in my ear, and I'm just going to wiggle my ear and just lay there.
So you're actually, there is an action you can save your turn. I'd forgotten about that thing.
There is? I would say if I wasn't prone, I would run, but...
I mean, you have a run skill.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
the shield, so I get to take only 2 damage.
I already assessed that.
Oh, you already did that? Okay, never mind that.
So could I run at this point?
If you want to, yeah.
But I'm prone.
Yeah, but since you have the skill, because you can run away normally, so since you have the skill, you succeed the skill, you can get out of combat.
Is it because we're in combat? Is it a versus or just an under?
Just an under because it's your turn.
Okay.
Because you can also try to run away from. All right. Yeah. So you do fail to run. So I guess you do get up, and you don't get hit.
The dice are not in my favor.
They are not. They've been nice to Brian, and not really anybody else.
That is.
And next up is Camulus.
Well, I guess I keep chopping down the tree.
Yeah. And that's enough.
Yes, you do.
There we go. Good hit.
So yeah. So he goes down. You just got 1 more left.
Oh, there's another one.
Yep.
There's too many of these guys.
And he is going to come at you with that.
Be careful.
Maul.
He might maul you.
I fight them all.
All right. Yeah. Give me damage.
Good night.
Smash.
Dude, you are in beast mode tonight.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
a good thing I'm taking screenshots of all these rolls. Need this for posterity.
So yeah, now that it's just you and him, you're just going to trade hits.
Okay.
I think. So I don't need to use the tracker anymore. Unless you want to stop. So, which
I'm thinking not.
you're rolling pretty dang well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's not feeling great. And yeah, feeling pretty bad. He's going to try to run now as well. So I'm actually going to see whether it's you or...
I'm going to let him go.
You're going to let him go?
Yeah. See if
All
the
right.
shrimple will take him out.
They will. Eventually.
And they're really only a foot tall, Jacob?
They're... the shrimple are lobster-sized.
Oh, okay. So 1.5 feet?
Yeah. Something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And they look like shrimp, I think.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
But fancy colors.
Sweet. With little tiny swords. That's great.
Yes.
So there'll be lots of people with holes in their ankles.
Yeah. I was thinking kneecaps were not in a good place.
So, Merrithew and Henry, who was the shrimple he was talking to the day before, turn up as this last guy runs off. And they say, good. Glad to see you. And then look and see poor Ryder. You say, "Oh, we're very sorry." And,
yeah, he fought very bravely and then died.
Henry walks up and kind of gently touches the headband with a claw. And Merrifield says, "Yes, he did. He earned that emblem indeed in such a short time. Now, were you two still interested in those gems and in the surface?"
Yeah, I could eat.
Yep.
And so you make your way towards the center where the worm has been swarmed by shrimple, and around it there's still sporadic fighting, but not a whole ton of it. And you can see that the shrimple are just really, really going to town on the worm now that they've gotten there. And you're completely free to steal a whole bunch of gems. That is what is bolded in the module book. So you can add that. And Henry offers to escort you back to the surface through the routes that the shrimple know with an escort whenever you wish.
Could we have taken Ryder's body so we can bury him?
Yep, they'll help you.
Would all
carry
the
it,
little
need it.
shrimples like carry him out for us?
Yep, little pallbearers.
Yeah,
Can't think of a
pallbearers.
good pun for that, but yeah,
We'll think of one. Yeah,
they'll carry him back to the surface to be buried properly.
yeah.
And with that bittersweet ending, you guys have been rehabilitated.
Pay some restitution to the flowers.
And what would you like to do about Tim?
Well, he's got no arms, he's got no legs. He did help us a little, kind of.
I think you need to rename him Bob.
Don't you dare! I was gonna say that. Don't you dare! That was gonna say that. Dead gummit, you!
We put him out in front of the door and call him Matt.
Or you just dress him up like a cow and you got some ground beef.
Oh my word! How do I get some stamina back, Jacob?
You could eat and rest.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll have lots of time to rest
Okay,
now that you're free.
at least a week, right?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's you've seen some
Wow,
things.
this was a very hard adventure.
It was. I did not expect that level of lethality.
You are ruthless, man.
They actually had you fighting two groups of 2d3, the lower grunts, and in addition, if you let yourself be escorted by Tims, you get swarmed by little mini worms that are trying to eat you and get your delicious surface dweller nutrients.
Good night. Anybody ask me, I'm like, oh, Jacob, yeah, he's a great GM. He won't hurt you.
He only killed
Just
Greg
kidding.
twice.
And then the final note in the book is also rather heavy, and I don't know why it's there and how to interpret it. It says, during this, the streets are full of people, flailing and screaming and often on fire, being attacked by hordes of shrimple. And I cannot for the life of me figure out where the fire comes from in this module, because the shrimple are not particularly fiery creatures. The
They're
city
torches.
is mentioned as using mushrooms primarily for light, so
Yeah, maybe they just set some things on in flame.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow.
yeah.
Now, see, the
Good work, Jacob. That
question
was
is
that was
when
amazing.
people are throwing down prisoners down well in future, there's no worm down there to catch them. So now they just die.
It's true.
Maybe we get the shrimple to make big cushion.
Or you can move the worm there and just
And yeah,
If they land on rotting corpse,
that's true actually.
I guess it's better than being dead, but still.
we could just bring all of the wheelbarrows with the bobs in them and have them sitting there.
So they'll bob on their way down. So they'll bob once they get down.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be on your toes with me, man. I make it my joy to dig out
No,
every single
no.
pud there is.
So as many hands as you've had, I didn't need to be on my toes. I needed to be on my fingers.
We have to remember all those hands were sprawled out.
Yeah, they, wow. It probably took about 10 or 15 of those little shrimples to carry you out, but I guess we had to dig the grave in a cross figure, right? So that the arms could lay out the right way.
It's kind of triangular. He's only got 3.
Oh,
right?
triangular.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Great work, Jacob.
Thank you much. Thank you guys for
Man, that was
humoring me.
awesome.
I had a good time.
Thanks for listening to So You've Been Thrown Down a Well, a Troika one-shot on Codswallop and Poppycock. In 2 weeks, we'll start Hard Travelin' Geeks, a campaign set in the far, far future using Traveler 5 by Mark Miller. For more actual play experiences and the Geek at Arms podcast, visit us at geekatarms.com.